In this video, we're going to cover the basics of doing tables. So for your project, it explains how you'll need to use the table element, the tr, the th, and the td element. Now in the instructions on SAK-CT, there's also a number of different resources available to us. And I particularly like, and I listed them first, the W3 Schools resources. And so we can click on that and we can go over to W3 Schools, go over to HTML tables, and then we can find their information about tables. So for example, here's a very simple table here. We can even just copy this code for when we need in just a minute. Now also for this section, for part C of your project, I've also added for you in the blank HTML file section a chart.html that can kind of help you get going. Now mostly we'll be using this for talking about charting in other videos, but we'll also use this file to create our table. So I've already right-clicked on this, hit Save Link As, or whatever your browser calls Save As, and then I've saved it and opened it up in my text editor over here. And you'll notice that there are a number of different script tags up at the top, and some of them have this little comment and this little comment notation before and after them. And this is to make it so that your browser doesn't actually execute or use these scripts unless you uncomment things. So we're going to need some of these for our charting, but for now we're just going to ignore them and we'll come back to them later. Looks like SAK-CT has added its junk at the end, which we don't need. We just need to finish on the body tag. So down here where it says page content, we're going to go and paste in that simple chart that came in from W3 Schools. I'm going to save this, and I'm going to go and run it in Chrome. And we can see this nice little chart down here. And by chart I mean table. So we've got this nice little table. I don't really love how its width is 100% of the screen, so I'm going to remove this style. We can always add some more styles and borders and things with CSS later. So we'll go and refresh that. And now we've got a very basic little table. You'll notice that this table, and let me format this a little bit. So you'll notice that the table starts with a table tag and also ends with a table tag. And then within that, we have multiple tr tags. So this one's the tr and this open and closes. That corresponds to a row in our table. And then inside of our row, this very first row, we have three th tags. These stands for table header tags. And you can see in our file that they are at the top row is the header row right here, 3 elements right here. And then our second row, we have our data. Okay, so our table data, and there's 3 different cells in that row and 3 different cells in this row. Now what I'm going to do is I've got some data that I already collected on, of course, some root beer from my root beer tasting party. I've got it in an Excel spreadsheet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and start adding in my header rows. Now I actually want a table that has 4 columns, so I'll add in a header row here. Add in a table data in both of these. And so we'll add in root beer. And then for the tasting ratings, we'll add the average, maximum, and minimum rating. And then for the others, I'm going to just start with, the first root beer. And then the maximum rating for that root beer. Not the maximum, the average rating. The maximum and the minimum rating for that root beer at the tasting party. Now I actually have 10 root beers here, so I'm going to have 10 rows plus the header row, so 11 total rows. I've added in the content. You can start to see these first couple of rows here. Okay, the header row and the first row data that I've put in. I'm going to pause the video and then add in the other rows that I need to. Now, in order to add the additional rows, I'm just going to copy and paste this row element, and now I've got another row, and I'm going to keep doing that until I have all of the data that I need. All right, so now I've added in the data for the rows that I've need to, and let's save this and refresh our table. And now we've got a very simplistic table. We can go and we could add borders and we could add formatting. We could also ask a JavaScript library in order to sort these. But for now, I'm just going to leave it alone. And here's our very, very basic table. In other videos, we'll go and create some charts based off of some of this data that's available here.